What's going on, guys? Here with another coaching session, this time for Nihil on the Europe North server. He's currently a Silver 2 player that likes to play a bit of Kindred. He doesn't play a whole lot, but he asked me to review a game, so I'll gladly do that. It's about this game. I'll go in depth on items in the actual game, what is good and what is not. I just want to check out the runes because I saw something strange. Like, press the attack here is okay, because they don't really have a whole lot of tanks. I would still probably go Conk, just because Rammus will probably just dive on you, and the Pantheon too, so Conk, as I always say, is much better in extended fights, and it scales a lot better, but Percy attack is also fine. It's like a 50-50, it doesn't really impact the game too much what you would have chosen here, because they also have 3/4 squishes with Pantheon. This is strange, overheal, I don't think that really makes sense. I like you 99% of times go Triumph, or if you want to do the Manamune build, you would go Presence of Mind, but Triumph is always better. This doesn't really match Kindred at all, so wouldn't recommend picking that. Bloodline's good. It's between Bloodline and Alacrity. You can take Tenacity some games if they have a lot of CC. Like here, it wouldn't have been bad for the Rammus taunt, the Pantheon stun, Oriana's ult. No, actually, it's not really worth here. Bloodline's good. It scales a lot better than Alacrity, but Alacrity is better early game, so it's up to you if you find yourself going into long games. Like I see, this one's 45 minutes, 33. Yeah, okay, so it's average. It's up to you. I like Bloodline more because it scales better and it gives you a lot more sustain in the jungle. Last Stand is good. It's here you can pretty much pick anything. Like Last Stand is good if you think that you're gonna need to ult yourself a lot and that kind of stuff. Coop is good if you want to snowball, and Cut Down is just good if you have a tanky team, but they don't really have that here, so it's a 50-50 between these two. It's just personal playstyle. Then for your secondary, Sorcery is good, but Nullifying Orb doesn't really make a lot of sense because they have 1/2 AP champs, like Oriana's full AP and Kai'Sa does part AP damage, but you want to take Nullifying Orb for Soraka's AP damage, so Rammus does deal AP damage if he builds Primal West, but I think Nimbus Cloak is like way better. I would also always recommend picking up Nimbus Cloak and Water Walking if you want to go Sorcery, or if you want to scale Gathering Storm with Nimbus Cloak is good, but Water Walking is very, very good for the game. Scuttle fights, that kind of stuff, so yeah, if you would have gone Nimbus Cloak and Triumph, the rune page would look a lot better. Attack, Adaptive, Armor is good. I think Magic Resist would have been a bit better because they have AP here. Kai'Sa is like half AD, half AP. Soraka is AP damage. She doesn't deal a whole lot of damage, but the damage that she deals is AP. And Bramble Vest on Rammus always does AP damage, so I always go MR runes into a Rammus. So that's gonna be it for the OPGG, so let's move on to the game. Okay, so we're in the actual game. As I said, it's a silver game. So against a Rammus, I think I've had this matchup in another coaching session. As I said, it's a pretty easy matchup, to be honest. He shouldn't be able to touch you anywhere early game and late game if you build correctly. If you build MR, he won't do any damage to you because he is probably like 90% of times going to build a Bramble Vest. If you didn't know, the Bramble Vest deals, the Thornmill deals AP damage mostly. I'll show it to you once he builds it. So as I said in the OPGG review, I would have gone MR for sure. It's way better against this team because they're almost full AP, right? Like Oriana, Kai'Sa, Soraka, and Rammus with Bramble West. So MR would have been a lot better. That's a good ward. Ideally you would, but it's a bit hard in silver because your teammates usually just AFK at the start or that kind of stuff. Ideally you would just walk here through mid lane into this bush, wolf over this wall, like when you're here. Wolf over this wall so you get full vision, walk up and place a ward right there. That's a better ward because Rammus is probably going to start here. You can expect that because he has a bot leash, he doesn't need blue. So you'll spot him if he does raptors or if he moves on. Like this ward is okay against invades, but their team is really weak at invade, so they're probably just not going to late invade. Looks like your elf is in leash and it's a bit sad, but Kindred can solo it pretty healthy if you kite it out correctly. Oops. Could have got it a bit more clean, but it's fine. Like if you if you're solo leashing, go back. If you're solo leashing, just walk all the way up here, all the way right here, and then into your next camps, because that way you take less damage. But it's not too bad, honestly. Would have expected you to take a bit more damage, so it's okay. So RM started blue, or red, I mean. You should know that because their bot lane are right late to lane, their top bot's in lane, so you can just look at that by looking at the map. I would not recommend smiting that, the blue, if you're going for Grom, because blue is super easy to kite, because it's super slow. If you're struggling a bit, and if you don't know if you're kiting camps out well, I would recommend checking out my other vids. Always show my full clear. Level 2 gank. And pause it. So I always show my full clear, and you'll see how I kite blue buff. You would have been almost full health if you didn't smite blue, but you smited Gromp, and if you kited this out correctly, it's those little mistakes that can really help you. Because now you're pretty low, right? If you gank, you can pretty much die. Okay, it's not too bad. Going to Soraka, so it's fine. Like, because you're half health, you can't really gank that anymore, so... Yeah, going to ults is fine, because you don't have a whole lot to do. I mean, you could have ganked mid, I think. Yeah, like, your bot lane was dead 100%, so... You should have walked mid. He's super far behind, I think. Yes, 2 camps at 3 minutes. Yeah, definitely go for the Scuttle. He can't contest you. Rhymes is super weak early. He should not be able to 1v1 you if you cut him out correctly and use your Qs to ward hop and that kind of stuff. Lost the 50-50, it's a bit unlucky. I would have pushed this to top maybe to just double Scuttle this guy, but you can look to gank bot. I don't think it's gonna happen though. They saw you. Yeah. You win this 1v1 if he comes. He still hasn't taken top Scuttle, because you see him right here. Let me pause it. He has 12 CS, you can see that if you press tab. If you didn't know, 1 camp is 4 CS, so that means he doesn't have blue. He ganked bot, so that's very easy to read that he just cleared these 3 camps. You've already cleared 2 more camps. You're stronger than him early game anyway, so I would definitely counter gank this, that's good. And walk on to top Scuttle, but let's see what happens. I think you win this. It's a bit passive to not attack. Like, oh, I would just queue in and junk him to secure this top Scuttle. You still win it though, if you go. I don't know why you're waiting, it's your mark, it's super important. Yeah, you can just zone him off, like he can't do anything. If he goes in, he's inting. Oriana's super low on mana, so she can't do anything here. That's good, you double Scuttled, you're very far ahead. You can even go to his blue right now. I don't like going to your own jungle. As I just said, you know that he cleared these 3 camps. He's still on 12 CS, by the way, so that's very bad of him. You don't have mid prio, but she has no mana, right? What's she gonna do? She can't do anything. And your top just killed him. So you have full top prio. Hop over this wall with your Q if you know how to wall hop and kill him. Or at least steal his blue because you have smite. You have a stronger smite. Like, it's okay to go for your own camps, but if you want to snowball, and that's how you win like 99% of your games in low elo, snowball and get early kills on Kindred, you should look to play a bit more aggressive. Have a bit of trust in your own mechanics. You can for sure kill him. This guy was dead on my screen after the Scuttle. So marked Oriana, that's fine. You probably just take a reset after this. You have a decent amount of gold. It's fine. So your top is very back and forth, like they're killing each other all the time. Could help impact that lane. Oh, it's unlucky since I didn't stun. Guess she didn't have it. Yeah, she didn't have it. He was dead if she stunned. Yeah, you can go for this, like you're way stronger, you just chunked half of health. He has no idea what's going on. You just smited that. That's free for you. Oops. Nice. That's big. 2 marks? Yeah, that's good. I would leave little one. 2 little ones also fine. Your miss probably dead. Oh, she entered. What the hell was that flash? I would attack the minion, I think, there. That's fine. You wouldn't have killed him anyway. That's not bad, though. Oh, you didn't get the kill. Never mind. It's a bit unlucky. So bot lane's fighting. Turks should win that, but the 1-4-1s are typically not very good in bot lane. So your top lane's 600 gold behind that. That's very bad. You got a 3rd mark though. That's very good. You are actually like 400 gold ahead. That's good. 300. All your lanes are actually losing right now. You're the only one that's ahead. A bit of a slow early game. I think you could have definitely played more aggressive. Your mid lane won. That's good. Yeah, you can just go to his ready. You should know it's up because yours is also up. Ooh, if you got there like a second before. You're a level up on him, so you can just play as aggressive as you want, honestly. You don't have Derek though, so now you should probably just back off. They can't really touch you anyway. Dublin's hinting though, it's not good. I like this. You walked out of your wall. I think you could have just taken it, to be honest. Like they had no words. You had to... No, you didn't have sweeper up, but I think it's still fine to go for it. Like you're safe, right? If you pull it out. Yeah, you could have definitely taken that before the warded. Kindred does a pretty fast early Drake. They should not die to this gang, like they saw it coming 10 miles away. Probably reset and complete some component of your jungle item. Unless you can do something, but a 4v4 with Orianna ult probably doesn't go in your favor. She's blind though, she didn't see Syndra. Pretty sure you win this actually, if you time your ult well. She should definitely go in first, stun them, and stun lock them with the Taric. She has a huge range, so I don't know what Syndra's doing. It's a bit of an early ult. Okay, that's not bad. I think he dies too. That's pretty good actually. Unlucky that you didn't get any kills. You're not snowballing as hard as you should. You couldn't do anything there to get kills, but you had a few chances early game to take a bit more fights with Rammus in his jungle. Like Rammus is super weak at dueling. He's like useless. So just look to play more aggressive. I'll just note that down. Nice, get a dragon too, that's good. Just take Grump and maybe Wolves reset. Just getting destroyed, holy shit. She's probably dead. I think you should just reset. You're not gonna get there in time because she's walking up. You're wasting a bit of time. You might as well catch mid wave now though. Just catch the wave? No. Okay, nice. It's a decent amount of XP. Now you can either reset or clear this. I would, let's see. A pretty good amount of gold. Yeah, something that I would recommend doing is resetting there is way better because now you're taking a red buff. Then you're resetting, walking back, like by that time half of your red buff is gone. So, and in these early stages it's a pretty strong buff, right? So if you would reset, then walk into your top, clear all your top, gank mid, that would have been a better game plan. You have a pretty good amount of marks though. 4 marks already, should be able to carry. Your 4th mark is where you really hit a power spike on Kindred. Bloodrazor isn't really good here, I think. Like Bloodrazor says right here does percent health damage. Yeah, basically that's deal 4% of target's maximum health in bonus of physical damage. So it does percent health damage. So it's good against teams with a lot of tanks, a lot of healthy targets, but their only real tank with a lot of HP is Rammus, and the Pantheon's gonna build some HP, but the rest of the team isn't really gonna build HP. So I think Bloodrazor is way better to snowball because they have Orianna squishy, Kai'Sa, Soraka, and Pantheon's also pretty squishy. So I think Warrior would have helped you a lot more. Like if you really want percent health damage for late game, Bork is probably just better than Bloodrazor, to be honest. You're sitting there popping off though, that's good. You should play off her, for sure. She's pretty easy to gank, now that she got Hex Tech. And Orianna's very immobile, so. Okay, so your next marks are gonna be either on the buffs or Wolf/Krugs. Should look to play for those. You're very far ahead of this guy. Yeah, like steal 300 gold. Have item advantage. You want Moby Boots. What the hell? This guy's hard inting. You don't even need early Black Cleaver, to be honest, if you want Moby Boots. The opponent should be fine if they walk it out. I don't think it's worth to go for a kill. Well, they should win this, never mind. Vayne is broken. Yeah, so there isn't a whole lot to say about your gameplay so far. Like, you're playing it pretty well, but like as I said, you should play a bit more aggressive. But you have a winning mid and bot, so it's not a whole lot for you to do. Just farm up, and it's okay to get carried sometimes. Like, you don't really have to pop off. Like, a lot of players, especially in this elo, have such a big ego. Like, if they get carried, they just flame and in that kind of stuff. That's what I've noticed, at least. Yeah, so right here, you just spawn Herald and back off. You should have stayed with her. Probably get a kill or two. Push on to some more towers. Yeah, you're just prioritizing farm a bit too much. Yeah, now that your Taric is base, you shouldn't be anywhere near here, because you see their bot lane, so. He's dead again. Pantheon shouldn't be a big problem though. Kindred does pretty well into Pantheon. We should die, honestly. He showed himself with a plant with this guy's in blind, what the hell? You should just walk back, this guy's a free kill. Yeah, you saw him. But their bot lane's there first. This guy is no map awareness, unlucky. Yeah, don't chase it. Over the wall, it's fine. Like, once he hit that plant, Taric was right there. If he just flanked, he dies, for sure. Oh, she's dead. Oh, GLP OP, never mind. That doesn't kill, right? No. She hinted them. Yeah, you can gank this. Like, I gank I like to do, because usually it's not worth it in this case, but usually this bush is worth it. So it's a bit hard to gank bot from this side of the map. But what I actually do, especially early game, is I go into Drake Pit, hop over this wall, and flank them. Even though this is warded, they will see you when you're already here instead of here, and then they can just back off. Even if they back off once they see you on this ward, it's a bit too late anyway. So, and they have no tower, to be honest. So they're way too far up. They should have just died. Ooh, just no ult, but you win this if your bot lane comes. I think you can force a Drake, honestly. You have Terra ult, your ult, and Bane is super strong. I think you win a 4v3. I don't know about your ult though. You enter your ult. I think you still win. I think you just misclicked or something, because no one... You ulted, one Sterk ult landed, so... Oh shit, you're all dead, I think. Oof. It's a top diff. She should run, she does not win this, she's 3 levels behind. How is she level 9 as a solo laner, what? Actually 1k gold out of Rammus, that's good. So Black Cleaver, you're going for Black Cleaver, as I just said, it's not necessary. I like Mercs for Rammus, because they have a lot of CC. Rammus Pantheon is enough CC to go this, and they have a lot of AP, so it's a good boot. I don't like Black Cleaver just because this guy isn't rushing a Thornmail or isn't rushing Ninja Tabbies, because he has, like right now he has 15 armor, so your Black Cleaver isn't gonna shred a lot of armor. What could have been better is straight up go for Bork, but you already have Blood Racer. Like, the better build here would for sure be Warrior into Mercs into what's it called? Blade? Blade of the Ruined King. Or you could just straight up actually just go crit. Go Storm Razor. Or Infinity Edge if you have gold. The Storm Razor is a bit cheaper. Because you have a pretty decent front line with all this, so I think you going full Glass Cannon is pretty good. Black Cleaver is good for late game, so at least you'll have that, but... Even Maw would have actually been better here, because you already have a lot of attack speed from your Blood Razor. So Maw is actually very, very good, because they have so much AP. Right, so I'll just do a little build that I would do. So Warrior first. Actually, just note that too. Against this team comp, right? I usually go this build if they have 3 or more AP. In this case, they have Rammus's AP. Like, you have to treat him as AP even though he's a tank. The Orianna AP, Kai'Sa's part AP, and Soraka's AP. So I would go Warrior into Mercs. So Mercs you build well, but Blood Racer doesn't make sense. Probably into a Maw, honestly. I would throw your like attack speed, so maybe a Wit's End first. Because right now your bot lane is so ahead and they skill so well that you just have to stay alive, right? You just have to stay alive and dish out a lot of damage. So how do you dish out damage with staying alive? Build defensively. So Wit's End, then into probably a Black Cleaver then, because then they'll have a lot of armor and you'll have a lot of attack speed anyway. So you don't need any more attack speed into this build, right? So you have 4 items right now. You are super strong. After this, probably Bork, because now is when the late game comes. If you have if you build your 5th item, that's about what, 30 minutes. So The Rammus will have a lot of HP, the Pantheon would have a decent amount of HP, Orianna will probably have a decent amount of HP too, and Soraka, so Bork is really good. And then last item, you just have to fill it in. If you find yourself dying a lot, GA is good. If you want even more MR, because you don't feel safe still, a Maw is then good, because you already have all the attack speed you need. Or... no, well, they don't have... Yeah, they actually do have a lot of healing. It's probably just crap though, so... Didn't look at, didn't think about Soraka healing. You need Executioner for sure, as early as possible, to be honest. And then you just build that into Mortal Reminder. You probably build Executioner before this. Just the Executioner alone, don't complete the Mortal Reminder just yet, because they don't have a lot of armor early game, as I said. Executioner is just way too good against Soraka and Pantheon as Kong. Yeah, but even if it was only Soraka healing, Executioner is needed against that champ, because that champ is just busted. So yeah, just go Warrior into Merc's Executioner, then build your Wits End, Black Cleaver, Bork, and then finish your Mortal. That's probably the build I would go. Something I would recommend doing if you want to learn a bit like rough builds is actually check out myop.gg. I'll put a link in the description to the account I'm playing right now. And then if you can just identify why I built certain items, you can also ask me if you want. But yeah, you can identify why I built certain items looking at enemy team comps. Does this guy have a Brembo vest yet? No. You have 2 Drakes though, it's looking pretty good. Pretty sure you have full Drake Prion because your bot lane is so strong. She entered though, that's not good. What is she doing right there? What the hell? I wasn't watching. Flanking Vayne that just showed herself. Holy shit, the int is real. Okay, you just back off here. You don't win this without Vayne. She just hard inted. I don't know what that was. Yeah, Pantheon's behind you guys. Olaf has TP though. Should TP. Okay, he just doesn't want to TP. That's very bad. It's your Syndra won that, but it's a 2-for-1. That's not good. Oof. Olaf's useless though. He should have definitely TP'd. But I saw you go in right there. Let's see. Like, when you just jumped in right... no, it's a bit earlier actually. Like, once you see your Vayne's dying, you just jumped in, jumped out, that's okay. But I think when Vayne dies, you completely back off. She's your strongest member, so you have to know that and just think, like, if she's dead, we don't have a chance of winning a fight, so just full disengage. Oh, that might be a kill. Nice plant. Oh, he didn't go for the plant. What? He's hinting. Yes, no, he should be dead. Huge. 600 gold shot. That's actually very good. Should be close to Black Cleaver. You don't have a whole lot to do. Like, right now you either farm for a next raid, because it should be coming up soon, or you look for skirmish fights, because you're decently strong and your team is not that far behind. You're still like, you're almost 2k up on this guy. Your mid lane's actually also ahead. Well, you're all basically on assistant. This guy should just go full tank and try to front lane for you. Like, all your lanes are ahead, only Olaf isn't, but if you can just keep Pantheon top, that's worth. I don't know why she's bot lane. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, so now that your Olaf's here, you're all there, just take this mid tower. Might as well open up mid a bit more, get some gold. You can't really fight though without Vayne, so you should not be pushing further. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, just clear their vision, that's so good. Pretty slow mid game. This Olaf's hard in by the way with this build, like he's getting destroyed in fights just because he's full armor and they only have one physical damage dealer. Which is Pantheon. You're ulting a bit too early, I think. Holy shit. Got melted. Your Vayne is here, maybe she can do something. Pantheon's dead at the start, honestly. It doesn't look too bad. Two for two. 2 for 2 is worth because you got their strongest member. Oh shit, popping off. I wouldn't say that fight is your fault, but I think you ulted a bit too early. That's one reason why you lost that fight. Where's this guy going? What the hell is this guy doing? Okay, so now we build Bramble. Yeah, so as you can see, upon being hit by a basic attack, reflects 9 magic damage, 3 plus 10% of your bonus armor, inflict grievous wounds on an attacker, right? But most of the damage that it comes from is magic damage. And Thornmail is exactly the same, of course, so. And almost all Rammus' damage comes from his W and Bramble Vest, reflecting mostly magic damage, so. Drake's gone. I should get a steal because Rammus is dead. Just run, yeah. That's not good though. I lost Drake and 2 kills. I don't know why they tried to contest that without you being there, but it's fine to give up Drakes. But not if your team dies for them though. Yes, I'm just speeding up while you're farming. I don't know where there are 2 bot. Okay, so it looks like you're going Bork now, that's good. It's a fine item. Olaf does not win this, I think. This guy's just fucking hard-inting. At least you get a 5th mark. 6th, that's pretty good though. Ooh. The guy's just popping the fuck off. You killed them all here, right? Ooh, close. That's worth if Olaf didn't hard int. Pretty sure if I just waited a bit, you could ace them for more free, I mean. Like, you shouldn't all die. Let me rewind because I was speeding up that fight. Yeah, so Olaf just inted. You get your mark, that's fine. You have mid pressure, so. So Vayne's cleaning up the backline pretty well. That's a good ult. Nice, very good. You waited for the execute damage before you C-timed out. That's pretty good. Well played. Yeah, guys, it's just doing too much damage too because you don't have a lot of defensive stats. Also, probably Warrior would have killed her there. So Warrior just gives you like a ton more burst, so. Okay, this guy's fucking win trading. That TP does absolutely nothing. Like, that TP is just int. You're inting a 5-minute cooldown summoner. Like, he TP'd, got 3 minions. He could have just walked up, get a whole wave. Probably even faster. This is actually not bad. He's stalling pretty well. Panther should just die. If your bot lane flanks. You wasted E. Your Olaf and Syndra's used all their cooldowns on Pantheon E, but he still dies. Okay, that's good. You're splitting bot, that's actually pretty good. Dragon's coming up, so getting bot probably was good. Your team just killed them all. This Drake should be free. Third Drake's super big. Oh, she didn't get ulted by Tarek. That's good. So it's fine. I would just push for this turret. While your team pushes top, you can solo Drake because you see Ram is top now. The rest of the team is dead, right? So you can just take this tower back off the Drake and solo it. Very easy. Use your Qs. Yeah. Your Q gives you attack speed like for 3 or 4 seconds after using it, so it's good for taking towers. Okay, now you just push this wave back off the Drake. And your team should also just run. Yeah, there's no need pushing. Yeah, good. Just solo this. You are 7 marks. 4 marks is when you get your auto attack range increased. And then every 3rd mark after that also increases that even more. So your 7th mark is also very big. That's huge though. Just gotta, even though your team died, your team got inhib, you got a tower bot and you got a Drake. They're probably gonna get Baron, but you can't really stop that. Yeah, like you can go for the steal 50-50, but might not be too worth because I don't think it goes well with all the CC they have. No. Just back off. Oh, you stood there. You should have like backed off this way. I don't know why you're walking that way. Yeah, the blast cone too. Just full disengage. They got Baron. There's no need for you to run this way and walk into them. Got your blade. Quicksilver is okay. It's not too bad. It's actually pretty good because it gives you MR too. Yeah, so right now, I think you have enough attack speed. Mo would be a very, very good buy. So buy your Hex Drinker next, that's what I would say. Hex Drinker, then complete Mo, and then after that complete your full Mercurial. Should still be adding gold. Yeah, you're still 2k up. It's very, very good. You scale better than this guy anyway, so. This guy just continues to int. Yeah, farming's fine. There's no objectives on the map. You're all off stats, so there's no point in forcing a fight. You just walk mid now and try to defend this tower. Don't think you can because they have Baron, but... Oh, you have Terragold, maybe. Holy shit. You got fucking just fully one-shot. She has no MR. It's pretty int to build 4 items before building a Wit's End on Vayne. If they have that much magic damage. Like, if she had Wit's End... I don't know what you're ulting though. So you do this a couple of times, just randomly ulting, that's not good. Yeah, I think she was fine. You're ulting just way too soon, I think. Your ults in these types of tower dives can actually turn a fight around pretty well. He's dead. Okay, that's not too bad. Nice, good stuff. Killer 2? Oh, slow. Yeah, if you had... I would have honestly just save your ult. Just let your Cinder die. It's pretty useless anyway. Just use your ult to just go full aggro on these two. In this elo, I would not recommend ulting for your teammates unless they're super, super fed. Oh shit, what did I do? So your Syndra isn't that strong. I've seen ult for her like 2 or 3 times. I don't think that's the right choice. Just save your ult to save Vayne or yourself. Those are the 2 most important targets. If she dies, they probably just use a lot of cooldowns on her anyway, so it's worth. Like, a lot of people think only KDA is important, but if you're dying for your team while blowing all their cooldowns, that's actually very worth, because then the rest of your team can clean up. Especially with a Terragold. Like, Terragold's not balanced at all. Late game, it wins you almost every fight. You just press R and you win. Especially with a Kindred, like, you can like communicate with him a bit in chat. Like, if you trust yourself in your ults, you ult first. Your ult lasts for like 4 seconds. Yeah, 4 seconds. Derek ult, let's see how much. After a 2.5 second delay, so the channel is 2.5, you can actually time that. And you'll be invulnerable for like, what, 6 or 7 seconds with Derek and Kindred. Way too early again with the ult, and he's ulting in your ult. Yeah, your positioning fight is actually decent though. It's pretty good. You're dishing a lot of free damage. They can't really get to you. Using walls to your advantage, it's very good. Good focus here. But your team's just getting ripped apart. So this is something you have to work on. Oops. So you're just ulting way too early, and just try to identify who you should be ulting your team, who is strong. If you're strong yourself, never ult a teammate, just ult always for yourself. In this case, you should always ult either yourself, because you're pretty strong, or a Vayne. Never ult this guy, because he's useless. Syndra is, like, sometimes, it depends on the situation, but like 90% of the times you shouldn't ult her anymore, because she has Zhonya's too, right? So she can keep herself alive for a pretty long time. Lost 2... Yeah, lost 2 Drakes. You have 3 Drakes. If you get Soul, this game's pretty over, though. Going Last Whisper. Yeah, I think it's fine because he started building armor. Yeah, and she's building some armor too. Last Whisper's good. Mortal Reminder, definitely. Lower Dominix is hard int against the Soraka. I don't know what you build, which one, but... Would be good if she dies, but I don't think so. It's actually good. You kill the front line before the fight starts. You should be moving towards this though. Oh damn, she condemned her away. She missed a kill. That's good though. You got a 2 for 0, just go, or 2 for 1, that's Baron. For sure. Baron's up right now, just spawned. Dude, you can't end with 2 kills only, so... I mean, pushing mid tower is okay, and getting this inhib is very good, but you should now just back off the Baron. It's your mark too, like what's your 9th mark? Yeah. Look for a 10th mark as soon as possible. It would always be on objectives or on kills, so... Oh, what? Wait, what happened? I don't think she dies. Nah, she doesn't die, just a Leanderis burn. She had way too much HP. That's a bit of int, but... I think you can still get a Drake or a Baron. No, never mind, never mind. Rammus and Pantheon are coming up. You should have backed up to this immediately. If you get this, game is over. That's very good. Now you can actually Baron again. They're low, right? So just back off to Baron. And you're all just standing around a bit, pushing waves. Baron is definitely the call. Derek's scolding it, that's good. You can pretty much solo it. You have enough sustain with Bloodline and Bork, so you can start it. Yeah, you and Vayne will meld this. Nice, huge power play. He's just in his own little world. Level 16 as a solo laner. You hit 18 pretty soon, that's good. Yeah, so Mortal Reminder, very good. You should have gone Executioner, as I said in the OPGG review, a lot sooner though. It would have probably helped you win a lot more of those mid-game fights, because Soraka just busted, she has way too much healing. Against that champ, always try to get your jungle item, maybe your boots, and straight up into Executioner. Unless you are super fed, you go full crit or something, you can just one-shot her 100% of times, then you don't need an early Executioner. But most of the times, and in this scenario where you didn't snowball super hard, I think it's way better. I just used a lot of stuff on her. That was a good ult. After you roll the Taric ult, it's a broken combo, honestly. Nice, good wall hops. You still die. I think you played pretty well though. Let's see. One more time. So that was a good ult by you, saving Syndra. In that case, it is good, right? Because they used a lot of cooldowns on her. So then, if you ult and you keep her alive, that's actually good. And she got 2 kills because she ulted her, so that's good. Good positioning again. You're kind of free firing at them without them getting to you. That's a good wall hop. Unlucky at vision. If you didn't have vision, you just kill him and he doesn't kill you for free, so that's good. You played pretty well. But because you have no defensive stats, you're just getting melted if they get onto you. You just have MR, which is good. Like, Pantheon played pretty well by going on you. You can't do a whole lot when you're building MR against this guy, but it's still a good build overall. Just those little things I noted. Like this, not that, like this build. You can get soul, right? Olaf can solo it. They should now back off the Drake. Support this guy. I don't think they can take that tower. If they, yeah, they could probably, but their team's up right now, so I think they die. They're dead. That's it. At least got a Drake though. That's not worth 1 tower for 2 kills. I don't know what they're thinking. Now you just won. Doesn't matter if you throw like one or 2 times. It's Infernal Soul is broken. Especially on your champs. Yeah, so now you're just basically waiting for these two to come back up, because you can't do a whole lot without them. There's no objectives on the map, you can't push down mid on your with 3 people, right? So now you can just go mid. That's a good call. Just force them. You don't have Baron anymore, I think. No, but you're still way stronger, I think. Did Vayne finally buy MR? No, she's hard hinting. That's a very bad build. Like, she's going full glass cannon, but she's getting one shot. Syndra too. Syndra should have already bought a Banshees. Ulted a bit too late. Pantheon's actually pretty hard to kill, even though you have armor shred and HP shred kind of, so it's actually pretty tanky. Can they end? No, I don't think no. Yeah, so what I would actually do is just type out to your team that they had to build MR, because it's way too important right here. They have so much AP, it's like insane how much AP they have. Wait, Winions? It's close. Hey, you can defend them, but here Olaf can TP, right? I think he ends that way. Nah, Ram's coming up actually. Would be a bit int for him to TP in. No, okay. Okay, so they didn't end, that's good. But I just type out to your teammates, build MR. Vayne should definitely have gone a Wit's End. Probably instead of the Bloodthirster. She doesn't need more sustain than she already has with all the ults that you have for her to keep her alive. And the Syndra should have definitely gotten a Banshee. He's building MR, that's good. Olaf also building absolutely no MR. I don't know. These people don't understand when to build MR. Like late game against a full AD comp, for example, you build armor, you win late game automatically. Against full MR or full AP comp like this, you build AP, you win automatically late game. And this is a very, very late game, so. I can grab this for free, I have all the pressure. Pretty sure you can end this with this. Derek's actually the only one that knows you have to build MR. And yourself, you build here's some MR and boots, that's good. Ninja Tabi, I have no idea what this guy's doing with a Ninja Tabi. It does nothing for him. Vayne has enough attack speed, you should probably sell Berserkers to get Mercs too. Yeah, so your build is fine, just go Warrior next time into these comps. And don't rush Black Cleaver if they're not rushing armor. Like Black Cleaver, don't get me wrong, it's a super good item, but at the stage where you built it, they had no armor. So I think you could have delayed it by 1 item, get maybe an Infinity has like a lot of damage in that case, because they weren't building defensive at all. Maybe you could have snowballed and ended this game like 20 minutes ago. That's very good. So I think you just stand here, you waste them or something. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. I think I played pretty clean overall. Just work on your ults. So here are my notes. Play more aggressive versus Rammus or any weak early game jungler. I think you had a lot of chances to invade him while you had lane prio. Just look at the map and then you'll see that you have lane prio. Just try to invade him as much as possible. Kindred is very, very strong actually early game. If you know how to kite it, you know how to play around walls with your Q, that kind of stuff. So if you don't know that, just go into practice to practice wall jumps, that kind of stuff. Here's the build I would recommend. Like, your build isn't bad, don't get me wrong, but I think this would have improved your chances to win a lot earlier. And in this elo, if you like, you can get pretty easy 20-minute wins with these kind of builds. And your ults, just work on them. They're a bit too early. Just identify who you should be ulting, that kind of stuff. So if you have any more questions, leave them down in the comments below. Comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.